Alrighty, so this is the introduction to LBOs under the Probably series, and this is the second series after the Definitely series. And I would say make sure that you're comfortable with the material in the Definitely series before you hop into this one. The way that I get these questions together are these are all real questions that either I or my classmates at my school have gotten throughout our coffee chat and interview processes recruiting for investment banking. And we essentially have put together a really, really comprehensive document of all the questions that we have all gotten, along with folks from our last year, along with some folks at other schools, right? So this is a relatively comprehensive document, actually, pretty exhaustive overall, and we have it stack ranked in terms of questions that you're most probably going to get, or that have the highest probability, all the way to the questions that only one or two people were asked once, right? So that kind of helps us kind of structure our studying so that it's most effective. So under LBOs, right, once we kind of understand what the concepts are, these were actually relatively common in terms of the number of questions that we received, right? I feel like there's kind of an increase in the number of questions that banks are asking around LBOs. Maybe it's because people are just becoming very comfortable with some of the earlier materials, so now they're trying to kind of cut people out based on whether or not they understand some of this material. So the material that we're going to be covering in this series is um, kind of addressing the question list 10 to 20 ways to increase returns in an LBO. The second is what is the ideal LBO candidate with an example. So I'll put an example together for you guys as well. And then we're going to be doing some LBO calculations. All right, so looking at internal rate of return, money on money multiple, different exit calculations, essentially, right? Debt financing calculations, stuff like that. All right, so that is kind of the general overview in terms of the LBO calculations that we'll do. Paper LBOs were still relatively uncommon, right? They were not something that a lot of folks were asked, but you were asked different LBO calculation questions, right? So I'm going to go through those specific LBO calculation questions that are actually quite likely that you will get at your recruiting process. But the paper LBOs, that's probably going to be in a different series and not in this one, right? So with that being said, let's hop into it.